Alright, with the worldwide download celebration countdown, we actually have gotten exact information about the memorial stones and when they're going to be given out, when the actual date range for it is going to be, and how they likely are going to be given out based off of last year. And we're also going to talk about the 2 banners that are available as well. So I guess first and foremost, let's just talk about the actual memorial stone itself, because I'm sure that's why most of you are here. We want to, I want to let y'all know about the memorial stone. So again, if you take a look here, about the memorial stone Dragonstone 4, right? After the worldwide celebration Beyond Space and Time campaign begins, Memorial Dragonstone 4 will be distributed sequentially. You can get 1 Memorial Dragonstone 4 for every 50 stones consumed during the following period. You could exchange them for celebration tickets at the Baba shop, or use 150 of them to recruit certain characters. The calculation period for the Dragonstone consumption is from the 20th of August last year to the 17th of August this year. So whatever stones you used basically from last year's, like the 20th of last year all the way to right before the worldwide celebration countdown started yesterday, that's the stones that are going to be calculated that you will receive per the 50 stones, right? So again, for every 50 stones you have consumed in total, it doesn't have to be like, okay, if I used 5 stones, does it count? It's a cumulative 50 stones, right? So if you did like 5 singles and then use like 25 stones for stamina refresh or something like this, as a random example, right? That is still a total of 50 stones, and that would still count for 1 Memorial Dragonstone. Count stamina refreshes, if you bought box space in the Baba shop, summons, right? Basically anything you would use a Dragonstone for would actually give you an additional like stone addition up to the getting the Memorial Dragonstone, right? So I actually don't know like the amount of Dragonstones you would have collected through there, but like let's say 8th anniversary, right? Global just got to the 8th anniversary. That gave about around 1,100 stones. So that is already a good amount of Memorial Dragonstones from that by itself, right? Given you spent a lot of them, right? I assume many people did spend like at least half the stones probably for the actual anniversary banner and stuff like that, but that's the time period. So again, it would consider like New Year's, it would consider the hero celebration, it would consider actual last worldwide download celebration for summoning for like Cooler and the Goku last year. Let's see, JP 8th anniversary as well earlier during the year, Golden Week, Same Day God Goku, right? I'll just bringing up some good banners so that you can kind of get an idea of like, okay, these are the banners I likely have spent on, and that's what we can kind of expect from that. So yeah. Now, Memorial Dragonstone will be sent to your box sequentially, and the distribution will take some time. Now, keep in mind, we kind of know how it would work from last year, right? So, this is a post we made last year, right? Usually they go in batches based on the last digit of your ID number, and this is what happened last year. So, like last year, for example, my ID number right here ends at a 0. So, since it ends at a 0, I was in the first batch, quote unquote, right? I did explain it a little easier right here. So distribution is usually in waves, like they say, they release it sequentially. So last year it was every 30 minutes was a new wave or a new batch, whatever you want to call it. So let's say they go from 0 to 9 this year. So 1 year they went from 9 to 0. I will say that, so it could be possible they go from the ID level 9 to 0. There's no way for us to tell until the actual celebration does begin, but we'll see, right? It's, again, based on the very last digit in your ID, which mine was 0 right there, so let's assume they go again like how it was last year and the year before, I believe, where it was 0 to 9. So, if we assume that the countdown celebration does start on, again, like it says, it does start August 25th, the countdown celebration. I'm assuming it's going to start August 25th at 10 p.m. Pacific time, just as an example, or 11 p.m. Pacific time as listed right here, my bad. So let's say 11 p.m. Pacific time. If your ID is 0, you get the first batch of stones, right? Based on the amount of stones that you spent throughout the year. If your ID is 1, 30 minutes later at 11:30 p.m. Pacific time, you would get the second batch of stones. If your ID is 2, at 12 a.m. Pacific time, you would get the third batch, and then so on and so forth until ID number ending in 9. Then those people would end up getting the final batch of stones, right? So based on the actual time frame that would take, that should take around like what, 5 hours or so, like 4.5 hours to 5 hours in order to get all of the, yeah, actually it would be 5 hours, right, in order to get all the dragon stones given out to you, right? Just so you guys are aware about that. And again, usually Zero gets like the stones instantly, because I remember usually when the celebration starts, my stones are usually like already in my gift box, right? So that's at least a good thing for me. And again, it does start on the 25th, which assumably will be when the celebration starts in a week from now, right? So yeah, that's basically how it's going to be working here. So that's what you could expect for next week. Now again, they do say that if you did break the terms of service, you won't be getting these stones. I haven't really heard about anyone who hasn't gotten stones before because of that, but who knows, right? We'll see. If you'd like transfer your game, you still get the stones counted, right? Summons and continues as well, right? So yeah. And funny enough, last year I remember there was a, like, they messed up like some of the counts, and then some people got double stones, which is pretty funny. But maybe not in this year, right? So now we have the actual banners themselves, and I just want to talk about the banners here and say, okay, which banner would technically give you better value? Because the good thing about this is that you'll exchange 1 stone for 1 ticket. You could buy the characters themselves with 150 stones, but usually like free-to-play players probably gonna get, I would say, around 100 to 120 stones. So you probably wouldn't even be able to buy a character. Like the option to buy characters with the memorial stones usually are for like whales who like can't get those characters that, you know, are very, very old, right? So that's the thing about that. Now, I assume most people will be summoning with tickets. There's one difference, no, there's a couple of differences between the JP and the global version. That's just who's unfeatured, right? So in global, it's unfeatured until Gotenks and Piccolo, and then the Ice and Nova. Obviously, those are the latest banner units in global. Well, JP does have different banner units unfeatured because JP had Tanabata, JP had the Turtle Celebration. Now, the Super Saiyan Gohan is actually under here. I assume it's probably because the banner for Trunks has not left just yet, so that's why. But yeah, besides these 3, it'll be the same unfeatured. There's no LRs that are unfeatured because it's a normal Dokkan festival. This counts as a dual Dokkan festival, right? But I just wanted to point out that the banners are different in that regard. Now, the featured units are exactly the same. There are about, so this banner right here has, let's see, featured cards, 49 featured cards. This one has 50, so there is an extra featured card on this banner specifically. Now, again, if we're going to compare, like, directly, like, each unit to each unit, it's like, you know, obviously, like, Blue Goku is better than Raditz, I'd say, but both of them suck, right? Ginyu, I would say, better than Pan. You know, some people might argue Pan is better, right? But it's like, it's semantics at this point, right? Because a lot of these units are kind of old at this point. Like Goku versus Cell, like who really cares? Kid Buu sucks. Super Saiyan 3 Goku kind of sucks, right? Majin Vegeta is still usable. Tech Androids, I think, are still usable here. Gohan is still usable. I honestly, Tech Janemba is still usable too. And if we take a look here, I mean, like Paikon's still usable, but you know, Tech Gohan is still usable, right? But so far it's looking like, you know, the B banner would be better. But if we scroll down here, you know, we can see a lot of EZA units, right? Physical Beerus, really strong EZA unit. Physical Piccolo, really strong EZA unit. Blue Kaioken Goku's very strong. Blue Gogeta's a very strong EZA unit, right? And if you take a look here, it's not really like that. You know, yeah, like Metal Cooler, Physical Broly, you know, Transform Vegeta wasn't really that great, right? You know, Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Future Gohan, like a lot of these characters, I don't know. Like Future Gohan especially, he has 8 at this point, right? So he was really good on release. But it's like, just looking at it, I feel like a lot of the characters that were available here are probably just going to be a little more useful. There's a little more, like, relevant characters, like Physical Piccolo and Blue Cat. Like, these two are, like, the best units on the banner, probably, right? Like, yeah, these two are definitely the best units on this banner. Blue Gogeta probably, you could argue, is better than most of these other characters. Like, the androids are here too. And it's like, what character is actually, like, really good on that level here? I would say Tekko and a Pycon, right? These two are, like, you know, around that level of usefulness, but no one else here, really. Golden Frieza, like, there's just better Golden Frieza at this point, right? So you wouldn't really use this guy, especially with the HP restriction as how it is. But there's some options that we do want to consider. Fusion Zamasu, I think the Age-O Zamasu will easy A here. Int Goku Black, I think he's like 100% also going to easy A. We have Tech Trunks who's going to easy A, and then we have we'll see. We have 17 here. 17 is a really good easy A too. And Tech Trunks and Int Future Gohan. All four of those units very possible to easy A. I think especially Goku Black, Zamasu, and Trunks. I think those are basically shoo-ins for easy A's. Future Gohan is like a maybe. So it's like, you could look at it and be like, okay, maybe I'll get more value by summoning here to get like these units as well. Maybe I need like a Cell, right? Or maybe I really want Pycon, right? You know, for your specific teams, right? So we can't really tell for sure. Maybe you need Cooler, right? If you like a Weak Bloodline team, right? So I just keep saying right over and over, but you guys get the point. Essentially, at the end of the day, you can just wait to summon, right? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm probably being annoyed with the amount of times I'm saying that, but you could wait, right? It's like a habit now at this point. I'm crazy. You could just wait, and then you could see what the actual units that are going to EZA during the worldwide celebration is going to be. And then from there, you can make your final decision on which banner to actually summon on. But right now, if you really want to summon on one of the two banners, I would say this banner, even though it's like red, it's plastered right there, does look, in my opinion, to be the overall more useful banner based on the EZA units and stuff that are available here compared to the overall cast of characters that are available here. But let me know what you think, which banner you're going to summon on, how many Memorial Dragon Stones you think you'll be able to get. And that's it for me. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.